Yeah, that's a bit funny, but I didn't got the point. Fair enough, man, no issues with that. Okay, so I believe that, you know, switching between both of them is all about here. What you think about your own self, what you think about your capabilities, what you think about how long and how far you want to go in your life actually says everything. If you are a person who have big ambitions in your life and you are ready to take all the possible risks which are going to come in front of your way, and you are ready to thrash all the hurdles and all the hassles that may be in the journey, then for sure you're an extraordinary person. An ordinary person which actually turned into an extraordinary person by his gut, by his efforts, by his willpower, by holding himself that I can do this and stuff like that. So it's not a rocket science to be an extraordinary person. It just take a gut feeling, it just take a first step, it just take some strategic investment upon so these are the basic phenomenon or the process that you can personally utilize, and you can transition your own self into an extraordinary person. They don't eat something different. An extraordinary person doesn't eat something out of the box, and they eat normal food. So there is no difference between an ordinary or an extraordinary person in terms of what they consume, how they live, how they look like, what they wear. There is nothing in context of all these things. Hi Shubhangi, hi Paola, hi Alifia, how are you guys? I am fine, thank you so much for joining this live stream. We are talking about the differences between an ordinary person and an extraordinary person. Okay, so okay, I'm feeling like this. So an extraordinary person is exactly the same as a normal person. They have nothing different in terms of what they wear, how they be, and what they eat, what they consume. But the only difference they actually have with the normal person is how they think actually. The way they actually think is something which is completely different with an ordinary person actually. So it's all about mindset. So your mindset can differentiate you from millions and millions of people. If you can think something which the other people don't even have guts to think about or to even initiate, you should wear a sweater, buddy. I'm not feeling warm. I'm actually in the first floor of my house and I'm not feeling cold. I'm actually feeling this because you guys came on my live streams. Literally, actually the reason is that my feet was wet. I just washed my feet and I was keeping my foot on the sleepers, which was bit I think so that were wet. So I felt a bit of cold because of that. Now I picked my leg up and now I'm not feeling cold. That's why I had some. I'm not crying. I can do acting also. I'm having a tough time in my life. Okay, fair enough. So actually, it's that the difference is based on memory and power. So okay, a small piece of advice, not an advice actually. I gave a lot of advice, so let me give some sort of examples. Okay. uh, oh my god. So let's take a rich person. Okay, a very rich person. Why rich person? Because a completely unsuccessful person who turned into successful person. Okay. So how they actually do it? The very first thing they actually do is they think about it. You know, before doing anything in your life. For an example, there is one of my friend. Okay, she was having a couple of problems in her life that she was not very much active physically. She used to sleep twice a day. In a daytime, and she had a bad healthy habit. She literally have a lot of unhealthy habits, and she was not fit. In a way, then it's all about perspective, how you think about to do something. And now she started working out. Okay, and today I got her message that she's doing good. She felt like she didn't feel sleepy throughout the day, and she's growing up. So what actually we can dig out of this, it's all about how you think about something. There are millions and millions of people who are having a very lethargic lifestyles. They have a very terrible lifestyles, and they consider themselves as an individual who so I mean Instagram, WhatsApp are all together a Facebook, so I don't consider a lot of it. So eventually there is no huge difference between both of them. Both of them are exactly the same. It's all about the perspective. you know I mean, there is huge chances of probability, huge probabilities that what my father think about himself in his life, may be completely opposite of me individually. And there, in a classroom, okay, for an example, there are 60 students. Okay, just assume there are 60 students. All the 59 students have a dream to pursue the best college, and then to do their graduation, then to go to a company and to do something great. There is one child sitting in the same class, and he is wishing to God that I wish I could do something out of the box, and he's wishing to do something creative, and he is wishing to live his life on his conditions to the fullest of his capabilities or her capabilities, whatever. The same person who was completely ordinary in that situation took the biggest risk of his life and started doing something creative, and did something creative in his life, and did something humongous, big, and became a public figure, became an inspiration for thousands and millions of people all across the globe. And how it actually happens: one thought. Oh, that is a very interesting question. I am a very ordinary person right now, and I will be an ordinary person throughout my life. But for sure, my thinking, if I talk about ordinary or extraordinary, I'm an ordinary person. But the thing which actually differentiate me from other is my thinking. So my thinking is a bit extraordinary, but I am a normal person. That I can definitely say on that note. So, and individually, I mean, one way or the other, in future, other people will call you an extraordinary person. You don't have to call yourself an extraordinary person. You should only call yourself an ordinary person. But your thought is extraordinary, which eventually lead you when people will call you an extraordinary person. So that's how it goes. I mean, I would call Mark Zuckerberg an extraordinary person. I would call Mark Cuban as an extraordinary person. He was a very normal person from a very normal background, having a very a very basic, lifestyle, having a working class family. Everyone was working, making money. He did his childhood in a lot of, a bad time and stuff, and he ended up as a billionaire with a net worth of $5 billion. And what he did actually, he did a lot of creative stuff. You just go to online and search Mark Cuban. He's a broadcasting something or something. He sold that company and he became a rich guy. And he's a very smart guy. Trust me on this. He have a very different way of observing and looking up to things. There is Elon Musk. He's also a normal human being. He also eat. He also have children. He also have normal functioning of body. What actually differentiate him with others is thinking. People is just having willingness to build their houses, to purchase land, to build their own houses. He have a perspective to go on Mars. That's all about him, And you know something? All the people, especially all the great people, the students who are studying in Harvard universities, rather than seeking companies like Facebook and all the other companies, they have more intention towards seeking companies like Tesla and companies like SpaceX, because everyone want to be the part of his dream project.